Hello and welcome everyone. If you're new here, hi, I am Nicole and this is Organized Chaos Corner. So today we are going to be doing a deep dive into business trends for 2024 and how the trends can help us improve our small businesses. So I am trying something a little bit different today. I have StreamYard up on my computer so I could show you what's on my screen over here, but I'm on camera on my phone, so you should have better video and audio quality. We will see how it all goes after this. Um, if the recording does really well, and I don't have to re-record it, I will pop up a thing up here somewhere saying it did well. We'll try this again next time too. So if you're seeing that on your screen now, it was a one-time take and it was going very well. Uh, so let's get started. Uh, my computer doesn't want to. Okay, here we go. I am using the whiteboard on Canva for the first time. I learned how to use it yesterday. Always learning new stuff through Canva. If you know me, you know I am obsessed with Canva. I use Canva for everything. So let's get started. So how can I improve my business, or how can you improve your small business? By focusing on the business trends in 2024, we can discover a lot. Okay, so we're going to go over 15 different business trends that are trending in 2024. And we're going to talk about each one of them, what they are, and some major positives that your business can get out of using these trends. So let's get started. First is collaborative leadership. Collaborative leadership is quickly making the strategy style of leading fade into the past. In this new style, collaborative leadership, businesses are collaborating with their employees as a team. So this means that with collaborative leadership, you're not getting the boss head honcho that's super starchy and stiff and doesn't communicate with the team. Instead, they're just like, they talk to their assistant or whoever's below them and they delegate everything. And you don't really have any sort of relationship with your boss. In fact, it could be very cold, and everything that comes from them can be very detached. Instead, you can use collaborative leadership, and you, as the boss of your small business, can create a business where all of the employees work together as a team and you are a team member as well as a leader. That way, you develop a relationship with your team. It's not cold or detached. Instead, it's warm, it's understanding, it's supportive, and they feel like if something is wrong or they can't pull through on a certain assignment or they're having an issue, they can come to you and tell you, and y'all can figure out a solution together sooner rather than finding out at the end of the week that the project is late because so and so didn't finish it. This way, it's a collaborative effort and everyone is involved and communicating. Internal upskilling. So, internal upskilling is when bosses are now teaching or giving the skills required to their employees instead of hiring someone else with the skill. So, say you're the boss of your small business and you need a graphics department because you make all of the graphics yourself. And it's at the point in your business where you're ready to delegate that task so you don't have to deal with it. So instead of hiring someone new to do the graphics, you can upskill from within your own business. One of your team members that you have already hired that already works for you, you can give them an opportunity to add this to their job description so they can start doing the graphics. You can even split it up between a couple of people on your team. And instead of just saying, okay, this is your new job or a new part of your job, you can either point them in the direction of how to learn it, or you can teach them yourself or set it up as a training for them to learn. And this way, instead of hiring out someone else, which means that you're spending more money, and which means that you're hiring someone else instead of promoting from within, because if you're adding on new jobs, tasks on someone's job description, you're adding more to their load. So either you can give them a pay raise, a promotion, or you can simply say, okay, these two team members or this one team member, whatever, is already working on these other things, but this one person or these two people, they are the graphics department as well. So they get paid a little bit more, but it still saves you money from having to pay someone else. And they get more job security knowing that if they learn a new skill that takes something off of your shoulders so that you could just delegate it, they are going to have more security in their job knowing that they're going to stick around, that you depend on them. See, again, building relationships. And you always want to give your employees job security too. You don't want them to think that they're going to be easily replaced if they're good team members. But that's an entirely different discussion if you have to let somebody go. But this is a way that you can upskill from within your business instead of hiring out, and simply point them in the direction of how to learn it. So tutorials online, videos on YouTube. You can set up a training within your company so during the training, specific people take that training to learn that skill. Or since you were already doing the graphics, you can take the time out of one of your days and teach them how to do it. And then they start taking over the graphics, and if they need any help or they have any issues, they know that they can come to you, that you're open for them to come to you for answers because they're stuck. Always build a relationship. The next one is personalization. So personalization is the process in which people can learn and work in the best way for them. Everyone learns differently and everyone has a certain system of work style that works best for them. Now they can utilize it and their bosses see the increased productivity and efficiency. So think back when you were in high school. There were certain subjects that you learned better hands-on, certain ones that you learned better by reading the text, reading whatever it was over and over and over again. There were certain things that you learned automatically. We all learn differently, and it varies depending on the subject of the matter that you're trying to learn. And we all have different styles of work. Some people are have a very manager mindset where if they don't have appointments filled back to back throughout their work hours, they are losing money. because that's the type of work they do. And then there are the task oriented people who are more creative minded and they do a lot more creative work. So it takes bigger blocks of time. And when they have an extra block of time that is open, that as an opportunity to knock out a huge chunk of work on a certain project. Or to start another project they hadn't even been able to get to. And those type of people are also the type that if the manager type comes in and says, oh, but you have this free spot, you can show up to this meeting that you're going to get nothing from and I don't actually need you for. It kind of pisses them off and irritates them because I could have used that 3-hour span to do a chunk of work on a project that needed to be done and used it better instead of going to a meeting that I don't need to be at and I'm not doing anything in. And so you see, there's the two different work styles. There are several different types, but those two come to mind because I just watched a video from a guy that was describing the two. But there are all kinds of different ways that we work on certain things. Like, I am a very visual person. One reason I'm doing this type of presentation for this deep dive. I need things in my face or I will forget the shit. There are also some people that are not visual at all. If they do not have a picture right there in front of them of what you're trying to do, it just goes straight over their head. They have no clue what you're talking about. They have no belief that you can do this. And it's not until after you accomplish it and you can give them that picture or show them the thing that they're like, oh, that actually did work. There's so many different variations of how our brains work that the personalization can help so much when you allow your team members to work in a way that works best for them and to learn in a way that works best for them. If you want them to learn a certain skill, find out how they learn certain subjects best and then help them to learn it in that way by setting up the training in a way that's going to help them or at least give them support and know that, okay, you want them to learn this skill, but they can't learn it the way that the training is set up. So give them the grace and the respect to learn it on their own, how they need to learn it, so that they can come back to the job and do the job well without trying to force them to learn in a way that just doesn't click for them. Just like the workflow. If you have someone that has to do big creative projects, know that them going to a meeting that has nothing to do with them is literally a waste of their time. You can send them a memo to tell them everything that happened in the meeting if you really want them to know. Instead, let them use that time how they need to use it to get that project done or a big chunk of that project done. It's learning your team and what works best for them and allowing them to do it in their way. That way, every one of your team as a collective is being more proficient, effective, and productive all together. And it just works more seamlessly that way. And when you have that understanding and you let go of that control instead of telling them they have to learn it in this way or they have to work in this way, if you let go of that control, you can flourish with ease and it doesn't put as much stress and pressure on your team members. All right, micro learning. Micro learning is a somewhat new process of learning skills by breaking it up in bite-sized lessons and practices. Again, using the personalization, but the micro learning can be for bigger, more extensive subjects. So if there is something like big that takes a lot of time to learn and certain ones of your team members need to learn it for their job, you can break it up into little micro learning sessions. Like they spend an hour a day or 30 minutes a day learning that task, but then the rest of the time they are working on everything else they're supposed to work on. And they just remember and practice that part that they learned, and it lets them grow that skill little by little instead of forcing them to sit there through a 12-hour training. Because most people I know who have worked in public industries, we have had trainings after we got hired that we had to go through before we could actually work. And those trainings meant we had to sit at a computer by ourselves in a room, probably the office or storage room or something, while everyone else was working by ourselves for hours going through training, and most of the training was common sense bullshit. And trying to keep ourselves awake during that time. Did we retain all the information? No, because we were desperately trying not to fall asleep during the boring ass 12-hour period we were doing training. Instead, we break it up into micro-learning, bite-sized pieces so that they can continue to learn, but one, they can still continue to be productive in the business by doing work, and two, they're retaining the information that they are learning. And you can use this style of learning with just about any skill, even outside of your business, if you want to learn a new thing. For instance, I am learning ASL. I have an app on my phone. I practice 10 to 20 minutes every day. That's it, 10 to 20 minutes, because I am extremely busy. And if I sit there and practice ASL for 2 hours, I'm not going to remember all of it tomorrow. Instead, I only do 10 to 20 minutes. That means that there is only a handful of signs that I have to remember and practice before the next lesson. So it's all about breaking it down so it's easier and more proficient. All right, the next one is artificial intelligence. Everybody knows AI. This is not a new thing. But some of the applications being used today are. We now have dozens of sites and apps that help us be more productive and efficient. And dozens is a guesstimate. I'm sure there's like hundreds. But like ASL, I'm learning it through an app. You can do certain things for your business with AI. I don't believe in doing any of the creative stuff through AI. There's a lot of stuff that I do not think is good to be using AI for. However, I will tell you one example that I use is my content strategy for OCC that I am putting together and starting Sunday of this week. All of the content that's coming out, it has been laid out by ChatGPT. I haven't really used it but a couple of times, and that was because with my other platform, I was trying to write post descriptions for the same thing, but it needed to be varied. I needed like 4 variations, and after like the third one, I couldn't think of a different variation, so I let AI rewrite it for the 4th one. And it's a lot faster that way too. But I don't think that we should use it all the time. However, like a content strategy, I have an account on multiple platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. 5 different platforms, all for one business. And in my other business, it's all of those but one. So that's 4. To be able to figure out what days are best to post when, what time of day when, on what platform, what to post on what, for attracting new followers, for nurturing the followers you have, and for turning into clients. It's just a lot. And I already have a lot to do. So I asked ChatGPT to make a content strategy for me by giving ChatGPT certain things that I needed. And it created one. So I have been making content and scheduling it for this week and using it. And I'm going to try it out for like a month to see if it works. And if it doesn't, then I will hire a human to create a content strategy for me. But certain things like that, writing post descriptions on something that isn't very heartfelt, it's something very detail oriented or technical, you can use AI for that and it makes it a lot faster. But there are dozens of sites and apps you can use. I use different sites that allow me to schedule my content for weeks in advance and they just send it for me when I have it scheduled. And one of the sites I use to schedule my content, it recycles certain content that I choose for it to recycle so it can still push out the exact same post at the exact same place when I want it to. That way I don't have to redo it because I used to redo everything like every day and then every week and it's just a lot. So utilizing AI when you can help immensely. So, what are some positives that you can get from these 5? Those involved in your business feel like teammates instead of colleagues. More thought provoking conversations, more creative ideas. Those with learning disabilities have an easier time learning a new skill. More job security, building trust in the business, boss, and team, and more effective time use. Right there, that is 7 major pluses to using these 5 skills. All right, let's move on to the next 5. Gamification. Gamification is becoming pretty popular, especially with visual people like myself. There are several apps and sites that allow you to set up your tasks as battles you have to fight in order to receive the reward. Some companies are even using some of these apps to have inter-office competitions. So it's like For the Words. A lot of author friends of mine use For the Words because it's essentially you set a goal, you write that amount of words, and then your avatar battles another character and you keep going, and you beat the bosses, everything else, and it makes it fun. But you can do this inner office inside your business as well. You can make it fun, make it friendly competition, and be like, okay, we all have our goals for the week. Let's crush it. Let's see who can crush the most goals this week, and we're going to have like a LARPing session online, or we'll have a picnic. I worked at a place that we had work picnics and cookouts and dinners and stuff, and it was incredible because I worked with these people 50 hours a week. We were already a family, but having that time to spend with them, with all of our kids and our family, it was incredible for building such a family unit together so we could lean on each other. So any way that you can make the tasks you and your teammates or team members are doing fun and like a friendly competition, plus mental health and physical health, both are being seen in a major difference in acceptance in the last few years. There are so many companies now that are accepting that mental health is a thing and that they need to accept it and support their team members. Because one, they realize that when one of their team members is struggling with their mental health, their proficiency, their productivity in their work is slacking. That's just like from the business side of it. But as being a good person, a good moral person, you can see that your teammates are struggling with something and you can support them. You can give them support, give them mental health days with the mental health and the physical health because some companies are really stepping up and they're supplying their employees with like counselors and therapists. Um, with physical health, they're making it a friendly competition, like who can do the most push-ups, or okay, who needs to lose weight? Okay, we're going to celebrate every time you lose, and whoever loses the most weight in a healthy way gets like a $50 gift card. Or they can do like work field trips where they go out to the park or they go to a football field and they do teamwork exercises together that helps them stay active. They're also allowing a lot of employees to do uh, like the yoga ball seats instead of chairs. They're allowing some employees to get standing desks, doing different things that allow their employees, their team members to focus more on their mental health and their physical health. It's allowing them to support and accept their team members as they are and encourage them to continue working on their mental health and their physical health and supporting them. Again, it's all about creating that communication, that collaborative teamwork team, and being there for one another. And if everyone in your company is really being proactive about their mental health and their physical health, everyone is being supported and accepted by everyone else in the company, it makes it for an even better environment, right? Adaptive leadership. So, adaptive leadership is a process that seeks to resolve recurring organizational problems through systematic change. It, through systematic change, it utilizes the collective creative minds of several members of their team to find solutions instead of just those in charge of the company. So, more or less, adaptive leadership is instead of you, the boss of the business, and like your two like right hand people working together to resolve a huge problem that has risen. And you're stressed and you have so much on your shoulders already, and now the three of you are dealing with this. Instead of doing that, you can come together as a team. You, the two people that are like your right hands, all of the team members, you can come together, talk about the problem that has risen, and think together for creative solutions. One, it takes the weight and pressure off of y'all's backs, allowing you to not delegate, but to get assistance from other people that can offer a new perspective and new creative out of the box ideas. Utilizing that in your team can be exponentially helpful. So instead of thinking, okay, I have a business, I have 10 employees, me and my assistant are trying to deal with this problem that just showed up in the middle of the night, and I have no idea what to do. I have so many other things to do today, and I just can't handle this right now. We need to find a solution right now. Instead, talk to all of the company teammates, so you and all of your 10 employees, about the problem you're having and find a solution together. That is adaptive leadership. Adapting and knowing that you can't take it all on by yourself. They work for you for a reason. And you're a team. They want the business to thrive as well. One, if it doesn't, they lose their jobs. And two, if they work for you and if you're a good boss and you're a good person, they respect you and they respect the business, they want it to succeed too. So they are going to be just as apt to try to find a healthy, logical solution. And with all of those creative minds put together, you can come up with a brilliant solution that's going to solve it in a nick of time or super freaking fast. All right, emotional agility. Emotional agility is the practice of using your feelings as information to help guide you rather than trying to change or control your feelings or emotions. Essentially, listening to your intuition. Most of us in small business have dealt with a situation where it was a contract or something and everything looked good on paper, but something in our gut was like, this doesn't feel right. Something's wrong. It's too good to be true. Or it's just like a sickening feeling in your gut, like this logistically looks great on paper and it could be great for the business, but something in me is telling me don't do it. Emotional agility is allowing you and your team members to lean into that guidance, lean into your intuition. And when everything looks good on paper, but you have that gut sickening feeling, you go with your feeling instead of what's on the paper. Honestly, I've had a couple of situations like this, and the first one, I was an hour away from losing $800 and losing my apartment at the same time. An hour away because I didn't want to trust my gut. I wanted to believe that it was real, but it wasn't. I eventually, at the last hour, decided I'm not going through with this. And come to find out, it was a whole scam. I've also had a situation where it didn't get that far, but it sounded great. But when I looked into it online, I realized that that doesn't exist. And I looked online because it looked too good to be true. I hadn't had anyone reach out to me for that service yet. So for them to just reach out to me out of nowhere and immediately want to sign me on and get me a signed contract with them and everything else, I was like, I need to check into this. And as soon as I did, I realized it was fake. You need to listen to your intuition in those moments. And emotional agility is allowing yourself and your team members to listen to your intuition when you have that gut sickening feeling that it looks good but doesn't feel good. So, what are some positives from these 5 trends? We can have more fun while we work. Our health is understood and supported. We work as a team instead of having so much pressure on a few people's shoulders. The business as a whole is getting healthier, more productive, and more efficient. Employees and team members feel more respected and appreciated, which in turn increases their respect and appreciation for their bosses. Learning to trust our gut, not just what's on paper. All right, let's get to the last 5. Adaptive learning is a technique to use data-driven instruction to adjust and tailor learning experiences to meet individual needs of each student. Some companies are using this as a way to help their new team members learn new systems and trainings. So like we talked about before with the personalization, adaptive learning is when you gather data from your systems and your trainings and you realize what's working and what's not, and you make it work better. You adjust things to make it work better for the new people that are coming in and learning through that way. And you are adjusting it from the data that you're receiving. Okay, purpose-driven leadership is instilling the company's purpose into every action they take and creating teams that truly believe in their purpose. Just like before when I said that when you're building that trust and that acceptance and that respect from your team members, they are going to also feel more respect toward you. This is gathering purpose for your business. Your employees, purpose driven leadership is instilling your employees with the same belief you have. If you truly believe in your business and the services you offer, the products you offer, the reason why you do the whole thing, if you truly believe in your why, your employees can too. You tell them, you show them, and eventually they are going to believe in your business and your company just as much, and they are going to do everything in their power to help your company or your business grow because they believe in it too. And whenever they notice that you're slipping or you're struggling or something's going on and you're distressed, they're going to catch on to that and they're going to realize something's up and they're going to be more apt to check in on you and to support you and to help you further the business when you feel like you're stuck. Okay, mobile learning. So, mobile learning has become a new way for employees and teammates to learn new skills for their jobs. With the internet in our hands, the extent of what we can learn on the go is endless. Like I said, I'm learning ASL from an app on my phone. I have learned so much stuff through TikTok, through YouTube, through Instagram, through Skillshare. I want to get Masterclass or Mastermind, Masterclass. I want to get Masterclass, but that's eventually kind of expensive. I've learned so much online, and online, the internet is in our phones. It's in our hands now. You can learn so much while you're on the go when you're um, traveling to and from work, all kinds of stuff. So, mobile learning, you can encourage that. You can encourage your teammates to learn new skills. If there's something that you want to add to your company, like a new type of product that hasn't been in your company yet or something, and you mention to your teammates that, okay, I want to add this, but I have to learn how to do this. So I have to learn how to do that. You can encourage them to learn more about it too, so y'all can help each other. Or if one of them's interested in helping, you both can learn it. For instance, y'all know I have the planner, the hashtag Goal Crusher. Eventually, I would like to create a Goal Crusher digital planner, but I have no idea how to do that. I know how to make a planner on Canva, but I don't know how to make it digital so that in your tablet or whatever you can put the stickers and you can write in it and all that. I don't know how to do that yet. But before I add that product, that's something that I'm going to have to learn. And eventually, if I have other people in my company, like an assistant or something, they can learn it too and help. We can help each other, especially when we're so busy. We can still learn how to do it. But if we're so busy and then something comes up and we're like, oh, I can't remember how to do that. If somebody else learned that skill too, you could be like, hey, do you remember how to do this? Or do you remember how to fix this? And they could possibly remember how to do it because they did the same learning skill. They did the same training. So it's all helping. And being able to learn all of these things on our phones is incredible. There's a lot of times I'm doing dishes or I'm cooking dinner and I will put on a tutorial on YouTube or something on my phone. Have it uh, propped up on my counter while I'm cooking and stuff, and I'm learning something while I'm doing it. So utilize that and encourage your employees, your team members to do the same. Soft skills focus. So hard skills are the skills you learn from certifications, licenses, degrees, from going to some type of schooling to learn it. That is hard skills. Soft skills are things like teamwork, collaborative efforts, um, and personality traits. More companies are focusing more on soft skills today instead of just the hard skills. Because you can have somebody that knows their shit, but if they can't work together as a team, if they can't go to someone and ask for help or assist someone else that needs help, if they lack communication skills altogether, if they're just an asshole, and there's some people out there that are assholes and they know they are and they try to fix it and they just, this is how I am. I don't mean to be an asshole. I'm sorry. But when you are looking for new team members, you should look for soft skills as well. Look for people that know their shit for what you're wanting, but also look at people who can work in a team, who have communication skills, who know how to collaborate. So when you say, I need you and you to work together on this particular project while everybody else is working on something else, you're not going to have a problem with that, and neither are they. They're going to be like, okay, we got this. When you notice how someone is acting when you're interviewing them to be a team member and they're just coming off as an asshole or smug or like they know everything and they're just superior in knowledge and all of the things, you can see that and be like, well, they might know their shit, but they kind of suck. Then find someone that knows their shit and is kind of awesome. And content marketing, of course, content marketing has taken social media by storm lately, creating a wave of small businesses that help business owners with their content marketing. As a small business, it's immensely important to increase numbers and reach in order to continue to bring in new clients and grow our businesses. And the number one way to do that is through social media marketing. Content strategy. I just told you that I used ChatGPT for content strategy for this company, but if it doesn't work out, I'm going to hire a human to do it. But when this came up as a trend, I was like, of course it is. That was something that was in my face. I've been searching all over social media and everything of how to create a content marketing strategy. And everybody is saying all kinds of the same things, but again, I'm so busy doing all of the things and learning all of the things for 5 different platforms and learning what to post when for what and everything else was just a lot. So I had ChatGPT create a content strategy for me. But you can hire someone. Go on Instagram right now. There are so many content strategists on Instagram. I've been watching so many videos and seeing so many posts. There are so many on there. On TikTok too. So many content strategists. So if the Chat GPT content strategy doesn't work, I'm going to TikTok or Instagram and hiring someone because it's incredible. And for us not to have to think of all of those details and have someone else create one for us, create a plan for us that will work because of the different things and will allow us to make uh, content to attract new followers, content to nurture our followers, and content to convert followers to clients on all of the platforms that we're on is incredibly detailed. But to have someone that's able to create one for you, especially for specifically for your business, is an incredible tool to use. Content marketing as well. I think I want to go and make a tutorial in here one day about how I schedule all of my content. But there's a lot of apps and sites that allow us to schedule our content. Like after you have a strategy, you can schedule all of your content for weeks or months in advance and set it up, schedule it, walk away. You don't have to mess with it until it's the next time for you to redo it again. That takes off so many hours of work. I used to send out my posts every single day. I would have posts, the graphic and the description in a Microsoft Word document. And every single day I would go to the different platforms and I would copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Or if it was a new one, I would just upload the graphic and then type in the description for every one of them. And I did that every single day. You know how many hours I worked on content every single day that I could have been using to work on work? A lot. So then I started scheduling it once a week. Scheduling it once a week took the same amount of time as it took me to put out my content one day a week. I saved like 20 hours the first week I did that by scheduling the content ahead of time. That way, during the week, I can focus on work and the tasks I need to do. I don't have to worry about content. It's done. There's certain content that I schedule for 30 days out. One of the softwares I use, you can only do it for like 30 days out. But I'll have content scheduled for the entire month, except for like 2 or 3 posts that I have to make like the day before or something. And it saves so much time. And if you have a content strategy, you know exactly what to make and where to put it and when. You can grow your numbers, grow your business, and save time. So definitely look into that. That is a major trend right now. I have run across so many content strategists on Instagram and TikTok the last week. All right, so what are some more positives from these trends? Tailored learning that makes training easier, passion for your work and belief in what you do, easily learn on the go. It's not only about what you know, but how you work with others. That's incredibly important. And help with your content marketing available on any social media platform with strategies that work. And that I have seen absolute proof of like the last week. Now, we know about 15 ways businesses are improving by looking at the trends, but how can you use them in your small business? You can implement these in your business. So, anytime through this, and I should have said in the beginning, take a screenshot, take notes, whatever. You can rewatch the video, it's going to stay up. But you can implement these in your business. These 13 ways. 1. Work as a team with your employees to create and find solutions. 2. Give your team the opportunity to learn new skills that will help your business without hiring another employee or hiring out. Learn, accept, and support your team's health. Make accomplishing tasks. That's 3. 4. Make accomplishing tasks at work fun and friendly competition between the team. 5. Learn to listen to your intuition and guide your team to do the same. 6. Believe in the purpose of your company and instill that belief in your team. 7. When you're considering someone for a position in your company, or even thinking about someone already working with you, think about their soft skills instead of just the skills they've developed through education. 8. Cheer your team on and celebrate as a team. 9. Promote and hire from within. 10. Use AI tools as ways to increase your business's efficiency and productivity. 11. If a team member is having a difficult time learning something new, find a new way that will help them instead of reacting negatively. 12. Influence your team to continue learning new skills and think of new creative ideas. And 13. Delegate or share the load of heavier tasks. We may be the boss of our small businesses, but we do not have to do it all. So, after everything you've learned today through this video, which of these ideas will you be implementing in your business? I am going to be doing several of them. I'm already doing a couple of them, but I'm going to be doing several of them because they are incredible tools to be using. And these are trends that are happening right now in 2024. These are the things that more and more companies and businesses are doing that they weren't doing before. So, what are you going to do for your business? What did you learn today from this? So, I hope that you learned some incredible things today. We are going to be doing a lot more deep dives like this. And this was actually pretty fun. One, I learned how to use the whiteboard in Canva. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and I figured out how to do it. Two, I also learned how to show everything on my computer, but use my camera on my phone at the same time. So that's great. And three, I actually learned a lot when I was researching all of this. It was actually pretty fun for me to take the time to research all of this and to look into it. So I'm learning too while I'm doing this. So, yeah, let me know below if you're going to be implementing any of this and if you learned something new today. Oh, what was your favorite trend or your favorite way to implement the trend? But that's all for now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing below and ringing the bell for the next time I post another video. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate you and all the support you're giving me. I just want to grow this channel and grow my community, my OCC community, and help as many people as I can grow their business while healing. So, yeah, I appreciate your support, everything that you do to support me and my channel, everything you do to support me and my business. So, thank you. Thank you for watching and stay safe. Have a great day.